Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you're tuned in from. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. Man, it feels good to see some of this greenness in the charts. We can see right here with this morning heat map of just some of the stuff. This is the traditional assets. Of course, it looks like there's a little bit of a disparity. There's a lot of large cap coins pushing green and a bunch of the smaller cap ones struggling. So what do we make of that? What are we looking at today? We got a lot of incredible bullish signals that are flashing. Does this mean we go all in and we don't protect ourselves and we don't use good risk management? Absolutely not. But man, does it make us feel like we have little wings and we're flying. Shout out to everybody that's here in chat early. Shout out to my dad, who was the first one that was in the chat, Mr. Brad Kellam, in one actual. How you doing, my friend? We got Wee Bomb was also early in the chat here. Scott Rod, Alex Green, my boy. Crypto 420, Crimson Caravan Company, Alexandra G. Who else we got in here? I think I saw Mellow Fellow. Maybe I did not. Maybe it was another stream. Unforgettable Name, Satoshi Queen, Crypto Chef, Karen Swigart Harris. What's up? Learning. Always we're learning, aren't we? Hey, we got a lot to talk about today. Got some big news. Just right on the heels of this massive ETH update that just went out yesterday around 6:30 Eastern time. And of course, I've discussed it a lot on this channel, but how that very, very well potentially could have been somewhat suppressing continued growth within the alt markets. But we've got some key signals we need to be looking at today, along with some very interesting sort of news stories. We're gonna basically be jumping back and forth between some of these key news pieces because they could have maybe not an immediate impact, but definitely a long-term impact on what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum and altcoins. And so throw a one in chat if you have been here from the beginning, because today I'm gonna do a little spin. Today is our 100th episode, 100th stream here on the channel. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for all your support. We are now pushing somewhere around, let me see if I can pull it up right here. We're pushing somewhere almost 6,200 people. We can see right here, we're at 6,170 people. So shout out if you have not, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell, join our community. If you're not joining our community, I don't know what you're doing. We break down not just what's going on in the markets. This is focused on helping everybody understand what's going on, not just telling you different patterns and different TA setups, but breaking down different things in every episode and also every stream, and also breaking down different concepts and showing you different tips and tricks and how to use TradingView the best way, along with showing you those advanced strategies. So bridging that gap from beginner to pro. So if you have not yet, come over to the BitLab Academy page, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy, and make sure you're following us here. Check out the playlist. Come right over here. Come down to view full playlist for daily alpha. We got some great stuff here. This one right here, Bitcoin checkmark banks break in here. This is a great video. You can gain some good insight into what you can, how you can engage also with friends and family when they are asking about crypto or they're talking down to you about crypto because they don't understand. But also, separate from that, it has great breakdown on the macro of where we're likely going and why, and some incredible different TA strategies. This is with a guest, Jordan Lindsay. Then, of course, I always want to recommend checking out the Pro Trading View Guide. Short video really helps people dominate navigating these charts and doing TA. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We got 53 people in the house, 30 likes. Hit that like button. Let's get that like going. Let's get involved in the chat. I don't care if you've done it 42 times before or if this is your first time. Write in chat right now what city and state you are tuned in from, or just country. That's okay too, or just state. I want to see how far wide reach, and it's nice to see. And it's also, this is about community. This is not about me just talking at you all. This is about getting you all involved as a community. So hopefully, some of you all maybe even form little groups in the areas you're in and meet up with other crypto-minded people and share ideas and strategies IRL in real life. So without any further ado, my name is Kelly Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab Academy stream. You can find me there at Kelly Kellam. Make sure you follow all these socials that are down here and hit that BitLab Academy website, because I got some of the final graphics, believe it or not, that we've been waiting on for the website. I mean, content. We filmed so much new content, over 100 new lessons, and that's going to continue to grow. That's just what we filmed so far. We're starting to integrate those, and it's only a matter of days before the new website rolls out with all the new content. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you have not yet, ding the bell next to the subscribe button so you get notified when we go live. So what are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about a lot of stuff in the markets. Of course, we're all about that crypto. Look at this total market cap, excluding Bitcoin. This is Ethereum and altcoins, basically the entire altcoin market. Finally broke this key level. We see this level right here, right here. I'm going to actually do an arrow. We see this level right here, basically same level right here. We finally have broken out of this to the upside. Hallelujah for that. Thank you. What does this mean? Well, there's a lot of stuff we can look at. And we're going to look at a lot of it today because it's not just about identifying an asset and buying it and just hoping it goes to the moon because somebody else did it before. That's not how this works. We need to tie together our understanding of fundamental analysis, technical analysis, on-chain data, adoption, news narrative, where we're at in the 4-year cycle. And we've been doing this methodically every stream here. So again, if you have not joined our community here at BitLab Academy, what are you doing? Get involved with us. Comment below as well if you're watching this at a later point, because this is not only meant for today. You can watch these streams at any point because we talk about concepts and break things down. But before we get going, I do want to say, come over here to the BitLab Academy. This is my page. Come and follow me here at Kelly Kellam, Kelly Kellam. Somebody drop that link in chat, one of you mods. You know what? I can do that. I can do it. Go ahead, give me a follow here. I post a lot of great content. Now, you want to come over here to the BitLab Academy daily post here. Come join, watch BitLab daily stream now. This is the post from today. Retweet this. As you've seen on this channel, we're about giving back. It's not, our goal is not to make money off of you. Our goal is to share experience with you so that you can make money off that experience. That's what this is about. And one of the easy ways you can help us is hit that like button, hit that subscribe, ding that bell. Come over here and follow BitLab Academy, which, you can retweet. You can retweet this tweet right here. Go and retweet it. Follow BitLab Academy. Retweet that. You get entered to win. We're giving giveaways regularly. Usually we only do them Friday, but the last 2 days we did giveaways away as well. So you never know when we're going to be giving something away, and it's great stuff. So let's get involved. Let's talk about what's going on here. Are you bullish? I want to know right now in chat. Let me know. Are you bullish on this price action? Are you skeptical? Let's do a poll right now. Are you bullish? We're going to start a poll. So are you bullish? Continuation. Are you skeptical? Or bull trap and going down? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about what price action is doing today? For the general broader, the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the top alts. What are you feeling? Put your answers in there. Get involved. All this engagement really helps drive this channel forward. Now, I want to go over some key things. We got some really interesting news. We got my news stories are all spread out here. So let's go ahead back to the charts here. I do want to also mention we did have the PPI come out earlier today, which is Producers Price Index. And in another stacking of good news for looking forward in markets and what monetary policy might be, what they might choose to do at the next FOMC meeting. We're having things sort of trend in the right direction. We're seeing PPI, which is the Producers Price Index. So let's think about this. If producers' cost of making goods goes down, their revenues can go up. And then after that happens, if we're still having issues like we see right here, unemployment claims higher than expected, these are bullish narratives for what the monetary policy might end up being. We're gonna actually see some bullishness on maybe some future disinflation setup. as well as unemployment claims, which lends into that narrative from Jerome Powell and the Fed regarding about what may happen about if they're going to stop hiking, have a pause, or I don't think a reduction in the interest rate is in the cards anytime soon, but even a pause, whether it's 25 basis points or what we'd like to see, no hike, that would send markets flying, but that's also going to be in context with the other news. So let's talk about crypto. That's what we're here for, right? I've got to dive in. I just want you all to stick with me through this. I'm going to go back and forth between different news articles. I feel like I have hair on my face. We're going to go back and forth between different news articles about some things going on in the space and a bunch of TA on Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're going to look at Cardano. We're going to look at Algorand. We're going to look at HBAR. XRP, as I looked at it earlier, still seems like it's still kind of holding out. Gala made some strong pushes. We're going to be doing TA and a bunch of stuff. So you can throw some of those coins you're interested in here. Maybe if we see a bunch of one that I haven't named or one that we haven't done yet from a bunch of people, maybe we will get in there and do TA and some analysis on that as well. But we're talking about the macro sort of landscape of what's happening, and then tying that into how we can apply technical analysis to that in an effective manner so we can profitably navigate these markets. So again, if you're just tuning in, there's 107 people in here, only 62 likes. What are you doing? I'm waking up early for you. We got all these other mods and all our entire team. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ding that bell. If you haven't yet, I don't know what you're doing. What'd your mama teach you? Now, my name's Kelly Kellam. Again, for any of you that are new here, you will become family here. So get involved. Now let's go ahead and jump into these charts. To the news first. So we got some ETH news. Okay, let's just skim through it because we had a major update yesterday. The Shanghai update went out about 6:30 yesterday. It looks like it went off without any sort of issues. We're seeing, basically a lot of headlines touting the 2K area. So there's interesting there. So over 111,000 ETH withdrawn in 24 hours. Chappelle update, which is the Shanghai upgrade. So one of the things I want people to understand, you need to understand this, is that, and I've talked about this yesterday, in order to stake, you needed at least 32 ETH. Now, people that have had 32 ETH over the past, the course of the past year, they're a different mindset type of person, or investor or trader, large in part compared to just the general sort of sense of a emotional retail trader. If you have 32 ETH and you're looking deep into DeFi about how you're staking a part of, the Ethereum community, I don't expect, and I didn't expect before this, that as soon as the unlock happened, that, all that $33 billion worth of ETH that was staked was just going to be immediately withdrawn and jumped on the market. And there's a number of reasons why. One of them is exactly as I was talking about, mindset. And what mindset, by the way, psychology of trading. This is one of the new courses that's in the new BitLab Academy content that we are rolling out. But the mindset and, looking at the differences between long-term holders and short-term holders, large wallets and small wallets. There's an entirely different behavioral component into how those people interact with the market. So we have this major upgrade that allows ETH to be unstaked. And there's this fear, and we pull up the charts. Let's come over here. Let's come to Ethereum. So we had this. Let's go ahead and expand this. We've had this. Let's go to daily, go to auto. And so we had this sort of this right here, this range right here, which we have been essentially we were butting our heads up against this area right here. Got a little bit of a push up and a little just being held in this zone. But now that I'm seeing this, I did not even notice this before. We can kind of draw a line up like this. We had a bit of a rising triangle, ascending triangle, where you have a flat bottom of resistance and then a rising support channel. Now, with this, we had a lot of sort of hesitation with investments within the Ethereum ecosystem because is there going to be an issue with the Shanghai update? Is there going to be the chain has to turn off transactions? Are they going to have some issue with lost money? These are things people worry about when there's going to be a major upgrade to the second large. I mean, really, it's the largest ecosystem within the crypto community. Bitcoin is in and of itself, I classify as its own sort of crypto blockchain asset. Ethereum is a massive, and we've seen this before. We come over to DeFi Llama, we see, let's go to DeFi overview. Sorry about that, chains. And now look at this. Look at the difference between Ethereum and the other chains and total value locked within the crypto ecosystem. Ethereum's taking up 59.2, 59.3%. This is by far David and Goliath. This is like Goliath to the max. It has such a large ecosystem because it's not only a layer 1 blockchain, smart contract platform, and I believe the first of its kind within the crypto ecosystem, but it also has, I mean, I don't even know how many, let's do this. How many protocols are on Ethereum? Okay. 195 DeFi projects, 166 of them built on Ethereum. And I don't even know when this is from. This is from a while ago. But the point here is, in general, Ethereum is a massive crypto ecosystem. And if we talk about that liquidity flow from Bitcoin to Ethereum, to large caps, and then to the mid and smaller cap coins, in terms of when these markets really pump, and we look at these different key metrics between Bitcoin dominance right here. We can see Bitcoin dominance came up right into the zone that we are expecting. We're getting a little bit of a pause here. Why is this? Well, first off, Bitcoin's at critical resistance. And as well as that, Bitcoin has been outperforming. It's been performing amazingly. And now we see Ethereum unlocked. The upgrade has happened. There hasn't been issues yet. And the news that's been being underrepresented within the crypto ecosystem is that there's limitations to how much ETH can be withdrawn or unstaked, so that, you know, that $33 billion worth of ETH that's staked, and the fear that it's going to be dumped on the market, that's not really possible. You have to queue your Ethereum to be unstaked. It has to go into a queue, and then there's a certain basically processing speed at which those staked ETH can be unstaked. So it actually has been a good, I mean, it was very well thought out in how they can limit that it's not just going to be unstaked and then dumped on the market. Will there be some selling pressure on the market? Of course, but coming into a period of time within the crypto ecosystem in that 4-year cycle that we have talked over and over and over about here on this channel. And there's a lot of other crypto analysts out there as well that discuss it. But we are sitting at the precipice right now of stepping into that pre-halving pump, and Ethereum has been suppressed. While it still has performed well, it's only pushed up about 65% or something like that, as opposed to Bitcoin pushing up over 80% from the beginning of the year. And so Ethereum has been a little bit of a hindrance, a hurdle to the entire, the rest of the crypto ecosystem. Have we seen some cryptos? We can come here. Let's go to crypto bubbles. We can see it's not like coins are not performing well. We can see this on the chart here. Let's look at the year. Okay, on the yearly, this is, we'll do month, because year is actually not this year. It's, but we see, I don't even know what Sure is, up 132%, SXP up 115, Joe up 200%, Mask up 73. So some of these smaller coins, now, Icon's been around for a long time, but some of these smaller coins are really, by the way, a lot smaller market cap. When they have some key sort of fundamental advancements or partnerships, there's a lot higher potential for them to have massive gains like this in terms of the percentage gains, because there's less liquidity required to push those coins up and up and up. Man, we got 160 people in here and only 90 likes. What are you doing? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell, get involved, help drive. I mean, by hitting like and subscribe on this channel or any channel that you watch with crypto, you're letting YouTube, which has now become, I mean, it's a mainstream media component. You're letting them know how much you engage with crypto content, which helps drive the ecosystem forward. So you literally are being, you literally are helping the crypto ecosystem when you engage with the crypto YouTube channels that you watch. But my point here is we're seeing, let's go over here on the week. We're seeing some of these smaller coins pump, but what we really want to see, let's come over to coin market cap. As you notice, I kind of go back and forth between CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap because it's important to get your data from different places and check it regularly. And just like when we're on charts, utilizing different indicators, utilizing a variety of different moving averages and momentum gauges and volume and we want to use different data sources as well so that we can make sure we're getting an accurate view on what we're looking at. So as we're looking here, let's just kind of scroll down. Bitcoin over the last week is up 8%, dominating over Ethereum, only up 6%. Tether, thank God it's not moving. It's at $1. BNB only up 3%. XRP about 1.6%. Cardano starting to get a good push. We'll talk about that today. It's over 7%. Dogecoin, this is why Dogecoin is a speculative asset. I've talked about this before. The inflation of, about 21 million new Dogecoin about every 30 days. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever in the history. This is why when you get large, players like Twitter changing their logo basically for April Fool's Day, and you see that large gain, and then people jump in at the top, and then they wonder why the price went down because there's not real fundamental aspects to it. Is this a terrible coin? I'm not saying that. It has a huge market cap. It's in the top 10, but this is not one that I would be putting at a huge portion of my portfolio in, hoping that it's going to outpace other coins that are having massive technological advancements, fundamental growth, adoption, as well as, for instance, Cardano, new total value locked sort of growth and adoption, investments into large economies, some of the fastest growing economies in the world with the infrastructure in Africa, or Polygon, which has massive partnerships through Disney and Nike, and I can't even remember. What are all the partnerships? Polygon partnerships. It's ridiculous. They're partners: DraftKings, Adobe, National, NFL, Starbucks, Adidas, Prada, the Walt Disney Company, Meta, Stripe. So you can see there's a key difference there. Now we want to pay attention when we're looking at this that Bitcoin has been performing so well. However, it's also coming right up to this key level of resistance of this large multi-year range, this range that we have right here. Let's even put off all of the lines we have. We can just see this is consolidating to the side. Now, will this push up higher? It very well could, especially with a lot of strong institutional adoption. And we're going to talk a little bit about that before we jump into the charts, because we've got some key data or some key signals that are showing that we need to pay attention to, because there could be some massive movement coming to Bitcoin and the crypto markets very soon. So let's go ahead and see what you all said. Let's go ahead and close this poll. Let's see, engage with this poll really quick before I close it, if you have not yet, and then I'm going to close it out. But we've got a couple things we want to look at today, and one of them being, okay, the ETH upgrade went well. Ethereum pushed past 2,000 today following Shanghai upgrade. Good news there. We can see that we have to be a little careful. There is a crypto community with a 90% historical accuracy that sets the price for Ethereum. Does this mean that we trade exactly what somebody else says? No. And I want you also to remember, no matter what I say, I do not give financial advice. I am sharing strategies and concepts and breaking down understanding markets and giving you the tools so you can make decisions yourself. So even if I put a price target, you need to do your own TA and see something. But there is a community out there that apparently has some historical accuracy, setting price for about 1720 at the end of April. Is it going to go there? I have not even looked at the TA on Ethereum yet. We will do that together. But we have to remember, when we're looking at all this price action, if we are going to get a strong push up, first off, we can see that this is, let me move this over. This is a rising wedge. Rising wedges tend to break out to the downside. This is breaking out to the upside. But what have we seen over and over again in the crypto ecosystem over this last year? We've seen fake outs in both directions. So this does not mean it's going to go straight to the moon from here. It very well could come up, come down, and then break down like this. We don't know, but we're going to break this down. We're going to look at some targets on this. But Ethereum, the fact that the Shanghai upgrade happened, what is going to be a key metric to watch now is now that I think there was a lot of lack of staking before because one, you needed 32 ETH and it was unlockable until this upgrade. But you also, I mean, it was unlockable. Now that the unlock has happened, are we going to see an increase in the amount of ETH staked on various different various different nodes? Because that could drive very large fundamental data for incentive for likely higher prices, because the more TVL you have, TVL being total value locked, whether it's in smart contracts or staking, the more the less supply is available to trade. There's less liquid supply, and liquid supply is important. Liquid and illiquid supply is important in understanding basically the available supply, because if you flood the market with something, then the value of that thing goes down. If you take things out of the market, then the value of that thing goes up, even if demand doesn't change. If you have 100 people wanting 100 diamonds, then the price is going to be pretty even. But if you have 100 people wanting, and there's only 2 diamonds available, or 2 chocolate chip cookies, or whatever, or 2 smoothies. My wife made me a smoothie this morning. Let me take a sip of that. Supply and demand dynamics are incredibly important in understanding where markets are going to go. So we want to pay attention to this. Now, when we come over here and look to, okay, so there's going to be a little bit of, not suppression, but there's almost 90,000 ETH expected to be released daily. Since Chappelle upgrade was implemented, the number of ETH requests for withdrawal has grown rapidly. In less than 24 hours, there are already 822,000 ETH requested for withdrawal, which translates to a value of $1.6 billion. Which, the interesting thing about this first is, don't let this scare you. There's $33 billion worth of ETH that were staked, locked. Now, if there's only been, we had the, if there was, even if everything could have been unstaked and sold immediately, even if that was the case, we could see that a small percentage of people, a very small percentage of people here that have staked have in this first 24 hours unstaked. So this is a good sign. And it's somewhat metered in terms of how fast it can be released. And just because it's released, I want you to know, because something is released from being staked in the locked staking pools does not mean that once it's released, it's going to be sold. It very well could be, released and then either moved into private storage. It could be moved into another staking node. It could be, there's a lot of different opportunities here. And the fact that this upgrade is going off wonderfully is very bullish for Ethereum. And we can see this reflected in today's price. We can come down to the 4-hour. Ethereum is breaking out to the upside of this area. And I spoke about this yesterday and the day before, that we had this target of previous price action right above us. And we kind of pushed up right near that area, that 2000, just over 2020 level. Now, special shout out to Alexandra G. Thank you. She said, happy 100th stream, Kelly. And is that a heart or lobster claw? It's a heart. All right. Thank you for your hard work and daily invaluable information you provide. And thank you very much, Alexandra G. And thank you for all the help you give us with a lot of the mod stuff and some of the stuff in the background. I really appreciate all the help everybody here gives. So if we got 122 likes, over 200 people in here. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to continue on. We got a lot to talk about. So ETH is coming unstaked. Does unstaked mean that it's being sold? No. Get your understanding and concepts and market dynamics. Understand these things. Don't be fudded out by a news headline. Look at the data. Somebody unstaking does not mean that they are specifically going to sell. They could very well move into different staking pools within Coinbase or Bybit. There's so many different staking pools out there for Ethereum. And so we're going to be wanting to watch the growth on that. And I'm going to put a video together on how we can track that as well. But we got a lot more to talk about today. Some of the other things I want to talk about is this right here. Did you see this news? Elon Musk moves one step closer to integrating universally accessible Bitcoin payments into the most popular global communication app on the internet. Communications plus payments equals everything app. And this is essentially what he's been trying to do. They've absorbed Twitter into their X Corp. So it's technically, I mean, I guess the sub brand is still called Twitter, but it's going to be, the X app or whatever they're going to call it. But similar to WhatsApp, they are moving into this ability to not only communicate with each other, but also have those payments. And this is one of those reasons, coming back over to CoinMarketCap, looking at Doge, people that are interested in Doge, I'm not hating on Doge. I think Doge is fine to hold, but you need to have this with a basket of other currencies and other assets and other investments, because this is not going to be the thing. This is not going to be the thing that just, unless you are lucky or an excellent trader, when you look at the price action on Doge, let's come over here. Let's go D-O-D-G-E, Dodge. No, I cannot spell. Dogcoin, Doge USDT. Let's look at this. So if we come out to the monthly, that's not what we want. Doge is older than that. Let's go to an older coin. Do I not have Doge? I don't know where it is, but the point is Doge can be, what is the oldest chart? You all let me know what the oldest, I don't ever look at Doge, which is why I don't know what chart to look at. Let's see, Doge, Bittrex maybe. I don't know. The whole point here, I want to continue on with the show. The whole point here is Doge tends to have very strong pushes, like insane pushes, and then very strong sell-offs. There's a huge disproportion of large holders of Doge as opposed to just a general retail person. And the general retail person isn't sitting here watching the charts on a regular basis and understanding how to navigate out of their emotions so that they can make sure they're making good trade decisions. So if you're going to hold Doge, then you need to have it and have target set above if you're going to be trading this. If you're looking at a long-term investment, because this might get included in this sort of communications plus payments platform sort of narrative with Twitter, which I do think Doge will be integrated with that, and it very likely will get a pump. But I want you to have your strategy in place is my point before that. Don't buy it and put all your money into Doge thinking you're going to get it rich when it pumps, because what typically happens is it pumps, then our greed takes over. We want it to go higher, and then the floor falls out from the bottom of it, and we go, I don't know what happened. You know what happened? You didn't follow a strategy. You let your emotions hold you hostage and steal from your potential profit. So that's what we are getting away from. Now, shout out to my boy, Matt C. And let's shout out this community that has been here with us since the very beginning. Much love and gratitude to all of you. Put a 1 in chat if you've been here since the first week in the middle of January. We're coming up now, I guess, to see January, February, March, April. 3 months, and we're already pushing here. If you have not, if you're watching over at the Hit Network, shout out to you there. But at some point, come over here and follow us at youtube.com/at BitLab Academy. We've got over 6,000 people here in the last 3 months because people are loving the content that is here. We are providing just resources for you, tools and strategies so you can understand how to navigate these markets. Now, let's dive back in here. So I'm going to continue this narrative with institutions because Twitter, one of the largest voices of communication on the internet out there, is looking at integrating into having payments integrated into their service, and they've moved forward with that by also partnering with eToro. Now, moving forward from here, we can also see this tweet right here, which is very important. What do you think would happen if BlackRock, Bank of America, Fidelity, Vanguard, etc., all announced they bought Bitcoin in Q1? Well, what people aren't realizing is they collectively have purchased $75 million worth of MicroStrategy in Q1, and MicroStrategy bought more Bitcoin. So this is exactly what they did. Now, what does this mean? Okay, because we're not seeing for instance, Vanguard, which is a massive index, BlackRock, one of the largest assets under management company in the world. I think they got over $11 trillion. Bank of America, Capital Research, Morgan Stanley, all with investments in MicroStrategy. Now, MicroStrategy holds over 140,000 Bitcoin. So by basically, I don't want to say skirting, by tactfully, you have to understand there's a huge tactful and narrative, emotional, traditional there's so much that ties in with investing in Bitcoin. All of us understand, but those that have not, dipped their toe in the water yet and understanding and knowing what's going on with Bitcoin and understanding the fraud that is banking, the banking system, the central bank, the Fed, the lack of, the inflation, the Bitcoin and crypto are the rails of the future. And so because we know that does not mean our aunts, our uncles, our neighbors, our grandparents, those with pensions, those that have been investing in traditional assets their entire life, those that listen, my mom, you see how big I am into crypto? My mom warns me my mom was trying to get me to invest into a cash CD the other day because it had 4%. And I'm like, any available capital that I have, I put an allocation into a traditional investment fund specifically only because I love my mother and I want her to know that I do have some traditional asset exposure. And I don't allow myself, that's just an auto withdrawal from my account every month. And even within that traditional asset investment index that I have, there is a 5% allocation of that index to a Bitcoin ETF. So I'm still getting Bitcoin exposure even in my traditional asset. But the point here is most people, the majority of the world out there is not yet fresh and warm and excited about Bitcoin yet. They don't understand it. They don't understand, pull out, you can ask anybody this. If somebody says they don't understand Bitcoin, pull out your debit card or your credit card and say, okay, tell me how this works. They can't. They have no idea how credit payments work. They don't know how the magnetic strips on the back of the card work. They don't know that it's actually being held in one account, an escrow account, that then it has to be settled. And they don't understand that, but they're so familiar with it that they use it. So this argument that people don't understand it, that's not the case. People aren't familiar with it enough yet. And Bitcoin is now getting to that point where it is becoming mainstream. So when we see stuff like MicroStrategy, an established stock, typically it's actually a software company that Michael Saylor, the CEO, has been buying Bitcoin, over 140,000 now. By buying MicroStrategy stock, these index funds and massive institutional asset managers and banks and pension fund and all these, when they're getting exposure to MicroStrategy, that's a little bit of a cloak and dagger way for them to get exposure to Bitcoin. So we're seeing, it's crazy. Just look at this. This is MicroStrategy. We could see Capital Research has a 16% stake. Vanguard, which is one of the largest indexes out there, has a 9% stake. BlackRock, 6% stake. Bank of America. It's just the list goes on and on. Then you have mutual funds as well getting exposure. Fidelity. So there is a lot of engagement with Bitcoin from institutions that a lot of people are just not very aware of. And I think it's going to be interesting to see over the next 3 years how a lot of this plays out. But where we're sitting right now, there are massive bullish signals that are in the market. Massive bullish signals. We've talked about the Bitcoin cycle. We talked about where we're at on the cycle. We've talked about how we have 208 people watching right now and only 140 likes. Hit that like button. But what we want to look at, and ding the bell. You got to ding that bell. We have to look at other signals, not just to Bitcoin dominance. This is potentially setting up for major run in altcoins when this starts to, the dominance comes down. This doesn't necessarily mean that Bitcoin comes down. This is talking about if the movement of the altcoin market is on average moving faster up in price than Bitcoin. That's how this will come down. Now, if I want to come here, this is what I want to point to today. We're going to turn on these. We've seen that when Bitcoin, let's kind of go like this. When Bitcoin price goes up, this is generally in, I need to, sorry, I didn't have my screen up. Screen's up. So USDT dominance, when USDT dominance is falling, we see Bitcoin price explode. And we see this over and over again. Price price exploding right here. Bitcoin USDT dominance falling. USD dominance going up. This is right at the all-time high. This starts to break down. USDT dominance goes up. Now, if we look at where we're at right here, we're going to go ahead and turn off the Bitcoin price, and we're going to zoom in on this. We're going to come into the 2 hour. What we can see here is I had this, I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to delete this Fibonacci. We can move this, we can even make this more conservative and go like this. So we could see that USDT dominance has broken this level, which has been all the way, let's see how far back this level has been. Go to auto. This has been all the way since at least March of 2022. No, this has got to be further back than that. Let's go 3 days. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and, there we go. So this line, yeah, so this has been essentially since November of 2021, this support line is held, and we can see that we are breaking this support line. What did we just see about price action in Bitcoin and the crypto markets when this drops? This is essentially, when this is moving up, people are they're staying in crypto, but they're exiting some of their positions in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Algorand, name the coin. They're moving, but keeping their money on the side. Dry powder, as Will Clemente calls it. They're keeping it on the side as essentially, basically a well to draw from when price dips, and they find that location that they want to accumulate in. Then we see this going up as they're exiting those positions, and as price drops down to those levels that they want to deploy back into crypto positions, then that means buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, AVAX, Atom, Matic, HBAR, Gala, whatever coins are on there, Mana, Sand, whatever coins that they're interested in. When you start seeing people deploying back into positions, that's what this is signaling. This is one of the most bullish things that I'm seeing, and all the signals that I'm seeing on the market right now is that USDT dominance is breaking a multi-year trend right here to the downside. And not only USDT dominance, we can come over here to the traditional markets. I have not even looked at these today. So we can see the dollar index. Dollar index is now below, it broke below 101. It broke below this key level right here, which was previous, basically it broke these two supports, came up, retested them, acknowledged them, basically confirmed them as resistance, broke down and broke past this level. This is a signal that the dollar is likely moving lower, which is going to be positive for markets, at least in the interim, if this is going to continue to the downside. Now, when we look over at NASDAQ, now look at this. We had this, this sort of trend line right here. This is broken out as it stands right now, but let's go ahead on a smaller time frame. Okay, so this is a bearish pattern. This is a rising wedge. This is pointing to the upside. But this is, these wedges, when they're pointing the upside, tend to break to the downside. When the wedges are same shape, when these are pointing to the downside, they tend to break to the upside. And so now this is pushing out to the upside, and we're getting a lot of just misinterpretation and confusion of what's going on within the markets right now. And so with having positive, negative PPI, meaning the producer's price index is going down, the unemployment is going up, which is what Jerome Powell was trying to look. Is one of the things he was looking for a potential pause. And we're also seeing that the CPI numbers came in under the core. The core was about the same, but the year over year CPI, the numbers we saw yesterday, was lower. We're getting the things set up for a potential pause in the markets, and we're seeing it reflected not only in the traditional assets. We're seeing the dollars fall. We're seeing Dow Jones is kind of a little bit choppy here, but looking right here at the altcoin market, this is what we're going to be focusing on today. We're going to do a little bit of Bitcoin TA, but it's kind of doing the same thing. This is broken, this key level right here, this region that it was just fighting through. Let me kind of go like this. I'm going to zoom out a bit. You could see that this was the roof essentially of the bear market accumulation. Let's go ahead and make this bright red. And we could see that we have broken through this level. So what's next? Well, this is looking at, also Ethereum is being a little bit unleashed. Things are more positive in the space. USDT dominance is falling. So we can't let our emotions take us hostage right now. We cannot, just because we see this, and we can see some positive price targets. I'll give you positive price targets today, but we can't trade 100% of our portfolio on 20x leverage because this is breaking out and now we're going to be millionaires. Believe me, I did that before. I lost $70,000 early on in trading. As soon as leverage trading came out, I was a very good spot trader. And I didn't adjust my risk management to actually doing leverage trading, which is, you have to have exponential risk management on that. You have to have much tighter stops. Because if you're 20x leverage trading and the price moves down 1%, that's a 20% loss. You're liquidated. Okay. You have to understand how these markets work, and we need to make sure that we are trading these responsibly. So let's go through some charts. Let's talk about this. Let me look at the chat here real quick. We got 294 people in here, 158 likes. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that subscribe button. Ding that bell. If this is your first time here, welcome to the show. I'm so happy that we've had such a dedicated following from the start. Pushing over 6,000 subscribers in 3 months, and just really appreciate all of you. Now, looking at the chat, let's see what we got. Yeah, my dad right here says the dollar loses 7% value each year. That's what it's been looking like. They try to tell you they like it around 2%. I don't know if it's ever been 2%, especially the last 3 years. It's been more like 14 to 18%. Bitcoin is the answer. So let's go ahead and see some of the coins that you all are looking at that you want to discuss. Go ahead, spam the chat right now. With the coins you're interested in, we're going to do some TA on a bunch of coins, and we're going to talk about, how these, the market is setting up where we're at right now. And we've talked about it. We got to be, what was I just saying about we have to be prepared? We can be excited, we can be hopeful, but we need to be prepared, hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Because what I want to point out here right now, before we do the TA, while you all put hashtag and then whatever coins you're interested in, throw it in the chat right now. And what I want to point out here is this is the supply and profit. This is on Looknode. They got all these T1 charts. These are all free charts. Just go over there. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I built an on-chain data chart, and they have it here in market valuation, cycle evaluation, Bitcoin trend fib opportunity zones. This is an on-chain metric that I created, and we can see that we came down right into this bull capitulation. What's the title of the bear exhaustion buy zone? We got right down in here between the generational buy and the bear exhaustion buy zone. We got right down in here. A lot of buys, a lot of strength coming in the market. Long-term holders piling in. So a little bit of profit taking happened here, right? Is that the capitulation hope zone? Yeah. So some profit taking happened right under the hope zone. We got rejected at hope. And then we broke through into the hope band, and now we're sitting here riding right up against the bull floor band. And as we look historically on this, once we get past this purple line right here, you can see this flashing on the screen. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit more. You can see this bull floor band. You see that line flashing on the screen. Once we get above this, there we go. Once we get above this the capitulation hope zone, and we're able to get above the bull floor band, we get strong movements. This was pre-halving pump, so this is something more likely that we'll get something like this in this cycle. Similarly, right here, we butted our head up against the bull floor band, which is basically like the accumulation ceiling. Essentially, we got rejected here and had to accumulate along the short-term holder realized price, holding above it though. And so can something like that play out in the cards? I think that could be very likely. I think the markets could also shock us, and we could get institutional news that can take us to the moon. So we need to be able to be prepared for both directions in the market, because we see right now we're pushing right up against that bull floor band, which is 32,113 as of 3 days ago. At where it is right now, we'll have to see. But coming back over here, I want to, okay, hold on a second. I need to log in. Somehow it logged me out. Still want to see my personal. There we go. Okay, so looking here, I think we could probably get it now. Yeah, we got more data now. So let's zoom in here. Do you guys put in your alts? I see. Okay, all right. Some of the mods kind of put some of the alts you guys are putting. Okay, look at this. We're pushing right up. So as of it's still the 10th. So as of the 10th, yeah, about 32,100. So I think it would probably be about 22,150 or so now for that bull floor. But what I really wanted to show you here is favorites. I want to do the supply profit. Where is the profit? Profit. This is concerning, and this is what I just want you to pay attention to. This is an oscillated. This is an on-chain chart that provides a metric showing when 100, basically the percentage of people, percentage of supply that's held is in profit or not. So we could see when less than 50% is in profit, that's tends to be good market accumulation zones, also market cycle bottoms. We see this along through here, good accumulation, got the FTX collapse, the best accumulation. But what we're looking at here, let's smooth this out. Let's put this on a seven-day chart here. Okay, on the 7-day chart, smooth, we can see that this is right about 72% or so, right in this region. Yeah, 72, 73%. Now, what I want you to do is just look over to the left, and we can see on this early market cycle, pre-halving, the halving was about right here for Bitcoin. Pre-halving, this is when that price was pushing up against that bull floor and then the sideways accumulation. Notice that the percent of supply in profit came up to this region, and then we get a large sell-off above the 72, 73, 74% region, and then we get a capitulation. People take profit. Market makers shake you out. They push prices past a certain point to drive price down to get people to commit to sell their Bitcoin so that they can cause a cascading price downward, so then they can re-enter and get better prices with larger positions. This is what happens every time you emotionally trade, and I've said it in here many times. But when you emotionally trade, you are literally donating your capital for somebody else's new house, their jet ski, their Lambo, all those things. So you need to not emotionally trade. You need to look at metrics like this as well as the technical analysis so we can see we are setting up, and almost every analyst I've talked to agrees with some sort of pre-halving pump, whether it's like the 2019 or the 2015 smaller pump, but then sideways consolidation. You could argue that these are similar, but the point is, I mean, this profit went all the way up at above 90%, we see here, and then we had a major sell-off, okay? So we got to be prepared. So now let's go ahead and look at these charts. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the main camera here. Okay, let's see. We got some of the, okay, everybody, pre-chart, backstretch. Yeah, I do the baby shark. No, all right, here we go. So we're going to do AVAX, Arbitrum, Mina, GRT, XRP. These are ones that you as a community have called out. I see Tezos as well. Let's see how many of these we can get through. So we're also going to do Bitcoin, of course. We're going to do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Algorand, and then we'll add those as well. Where is my Bitstamp? Bitstamp. All right. So now looking at Bitcoin, we are setting up. We have this bull flag. We had a bit of a fake out to the downside. I got you the charts up. I have to control all this myself with this scene switching, so I apologize for the small errors here and there. I see 314 people in the chat right now. It's 314 people watching, only 182 likes. Hit that like button. So we can see right here, we've had this large bull pennant or symmetrical triangle that we've broken out, but we're sitting right at a key level. We're pushing $30,537,500. So where's the next target from here? Well, on this full move, we did the chart yesterday showing that there is a measured move up to $42,000. I'm not actively just pursuing that. I'm taking this level by level. So we can see with this right here, with this stick right here, we take this and we can move this up from this flag, and the target above this is up at about $32,708. Now let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit, and we can see that we do have some price action right here that will likely sort of be a little bit of a hurdle for us to reach that full target. So if you're trying to figure out if you're trading this breakout to the upside, you can always look to the left. Look to the left for a potential roadmap to the future. We could sort of delete this, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to draw a box right here. We're going to pull this across. Now we're going to make this. We're going to make this yellow. We could see that when this breaks out to the upside anywhere in this region, we can likely have a little bit of trouble. But one of the things we need to look at, let's go ahead and pull up our VPVR. Let's pull up our VPVR. I'm going to double click on my screen to minimize these other indicators on the bottom, part of the BitLab trading stack. And so what we want to do here is we can look at the 12-hour. We look at all this price action, and one of the things that we notice is we have all these volume bars here on the right, which is how much volume and interest was traded at the corresponding price level to the right of each one of these bars. So, you know, at 2,795, we can see the volume, the height of this volume. There's a lot more volume at this level than, say, right here. There's no volume at the $32,000 level. So putting the pieces of the puzzle together is important. This is what we do when we're doing TA. So the pieces of the puzzle say we have a target right here, but zooming out, we have a pretty big volume gap right here as well. So although there is a price target here in terms of previous price action highs, we can also see that there's very low volume traded here. But let's go ahead and go out on the 3-day. We need to look. So if we look at this more broadly, this is why you always zoom out. So even when we were zoomed in, we were only looking from this portion over, we were getting none of this data. So what I'm displaying here is no matter how sure you are of something, look at a different time frame, zoom out, scroll left a little bit, look at data in a different frame, look at it even on a different potential chart. Maybe you're looking at Bitstamp, look at it then on Coinbase, look at it then on Bybit perpetuals. And you can sort of get a good picture of what's going on. So while on the zoomed in like this, we have a very big volume gap here. If we zoom out, we see there's no volume gap at all. In fact, we're coming into a lot of resistance of volume into this region. So therefore, these price levels right here, right about $32,300 is going to be a likely sort of stopping point. Maybe a little pushing, maybe a little push above that, wick above that, come back down, and then continuation up to this region, this $34,900 level. Now, some people argue that the pre-halving pump may only get up to somewhere in the region that we already currently are in, and we may either roll over from here and break down, nearly 50% from here, maybe pull back 20 to 30% and consolidate sideways, while others believe we could push as high as $52,000, because if we look at the golden, the Fibonacci, or $48,000, let's say, the Fibonacci golden pocket is right at basically $48,000 to $50,000. And this is perfectly in line with this previous all-time high, this previous high on this downtrend. So where we're at right now, we need to take this level by level. And if we look at the indicators, before we get into all the alts, we're about to get into all these alts, so stay with me here. We can see that we're getting this is the daily, let's come down to the 8-hour. We can see that we're a little bit overheated at this level, but if we're pushing into strong bullish narrative, then the overheatedness could also just be, for instance, if you think about like the stochastics can stay up and overheated for a period of time when you're in a very strong bull trend. So this isn't necessarily a sell signal. This is saying that if you get other signals that are indicating bearishness, then you need to watch out, potentially close a long position or take a short. So we're seeing the red wave here on the significant movement. This is all part of the BitLab trading stack. We see that this is looking like it's a little overheated. Now we get the relative extrema is looking very healthy. All the bars are within the clouds, so this is good news. And there's no bullish or bearish divergence on the volume. Now zooming in here on the actual chart, we did have bearish divergence before, but nothing on, this is on the 8-hour. Now let's come down to the 2-hour has become my favorite lately when things are very choppy. Okay, now we can see here, we had two, look at this, bullish divergence on the volume. And this was perfectly in line with right when the relative extrema pushed to the downside, slingshot up. We see this, we see another bullish divergence on the volume, basically helps sustain us. Then we got a bullish divergence on money flow, which is what the MFI is. That's what this flag is right here. You see, we can put it shorthand or full. We can also put all the divergences on. I just think it's a lot cleaner. I dropped my ring. So what we can see here is we're coming right into this level. We have five bearish divergences on the 2 hour, and it's looking overheated on the significant movement. And the relative extrema was sticking a little bit out of the cloud, meaning unhealthy movement to the upside. But it's now come back into the cloud, and we can see that by, is it back in the cloud? It's, yeah. So now this is a basically aggregate momentum wave. For some reason, a lot of people are not using it and realizing that, but we're seeing the swapping of momentum, and this momentum is still moving to the upside. So there's a little bit of conflicting signals here. So let's get down to the 1 hour. Now, looking at the 1 hour, let's go to auto. Okay, we're still within this, if we can break through this level right here, 30,000, basically, I would say 30,600. If we can break above that, then we likely see continuation to the upside. But we want to have also candle closures. So things are looking a little choppy right now, but this also may be because, looking at the 2 hour or the 4 hour, we're seeing 4 hour, look at this, relative extrema is ticking out, bearish divergence on RSI, coming into resistance. Maybe this is the case. We have to look at this in context with the rest of the market. Maybe this is the case because we're looking at things on, let's come back here. When we're looking at Ethereum and the altcoin market starting to push higher, let's go ahead and delete this fib. Starting to push higher due to the unlocking of the Shanghai and things being positive here. There's a lot of narrative around Ethereum right now. It's getting a little. Why is this continuing? There we go. So now coming back here, we can see here. Okay, if we look at this on the 4 hour, this is getting a push up. This broke this sort of key level. I really want to see Ethereum break above 20,000. 20,000. I'd love to see if you'd love to see Ethereum break above 20,000. Put in a 1 in chat right now. Man, that would be great. I'd like to see Ethereum break above 2,000 is what I was trying to say, which is a very key level. This level right here, we can see, let's turn off the indicators. We can see this level is where we were breaking down. This is May and June of 2022, when we were really having that, strong bearishness, a lot of capitulations across the space, institutional failures. And we can see this level, we reached back up to it, got rejected. We are now at that level again. If we can break past, if we can break above this 2000, I would say it's 2020, 2025, but let's really break above this level right here, which is 2000. Basically, I'd like to get above 2,100 and have some sort of retest. So for this to play out in a healthy way, what I'd like to see is for Ethereum, because this is, again, remember, this is a bearish structure. This is a rising wedge. This very well could just reverse and come back down. So on any movement to the downside, what I'd like to see is the bulls come in and test this support and then launch, or break further up, test this support, this orange line, and then launch. That's what I'd like to see. Will it happen? We don't know. We can only take this one level at a time. We can only take it one moment at a time and trade as such with each one of these sort of setups. So this is my target to the upside. Let's go ahead here, go auto. Whatever the update to TradingView has been, TradingView, do better. Your update sucks. It has changed the entire way that I'm able to navigate the damn screen. So fix it, okay? Okay, now that I've ranted. Okay, so now what we can see here, this is a target. Why was this a target above? Because this is that same level when we're looking at Ethereum, when we're looking at Bitcoin, and we're looking at this level, that real macro resistance level. Turn off these flags. This level right here, this $35,000, $34,000 level would be similar to the level that we're looking at when we're looking at Ethereum. There we go. The trading view is locking. So we want to break above this and find support at this level. That's the whole point. The $2010, $2020 level. We want this not to get rejected here and then come down. If it does get rejected here and come down, then we need to look at where that level could likely be. So option F from the bottom. I feel like the quick keys aren't working as well anymore. Option F from the bottom. There we go. So if this does come down, I'd like this to test as far down to keep a bullish narrative really as far down as 1640. I wouldn't like that. I'd prefer it to stay 1700, 1650 to 1700 on a bearish sort of, you know, one more washout to the downside before liftoff. I could see this happening, coming down to this level because we do have this channel here as well as the 382 on this move. Now, if this pushes higher, then this of course moves up. So we'll be looking at this trend line here, these zones. But I am leaning bullish because of so much bullish narrative in the news right now. So we need to just protect ourselves. Now, let's look at Cardano, and then we're going to move on to a bunch of the other ones that you talked about. Man, Cardano's look at this Cardano on the weekly. Man, shout out to Cardano on the weekly. Who out there is a Cardano holder? Put ADA in chat if you do Cardano. I think we're going to be doing an Cardano video potentially this weekend. So let me know in the chat. Now, Cardano is looking very good here. We got this massive downtrend, you know, massive downtrend and a break of downtrend, retest and movement to the upside. Now, what we are seeing here is option J. Option J gives us a horizontal ray. I'm going to make this a bit brighter. Option J, rather than having, for instance, option H, which has a horizontal bar across the entire screen, I like option J. If you're on PC, it's alt J. It gives you basically a horizontal ray from that point across. Now, what we can see here on Cardano is we are attempting to break this previous high, which we are in process of right now. Let's get down on some smaller time frames here. Double click on the chart. Nope. We need to pull up. There we go. Now we got 4 bearish divergences on the 4-hour. We are coming, and this makes sense. Why does this make sense? Because we're coming into this key level right here, and we've already broken above it, but we're still consolidating at this level. And with that, we can see that we know this is a known level. And so as price action is pushing up into it, it would stand to reason that RSI, stochastics, momentum are sort of, there's some questionability. There's some, is this going to go higher? Should I take profits here? Are other people taking profits? So we are seeing weakness at this level. And this makes sense because we have a key level that we're trying to break past here. Not just this push up here, but this breakout high, breakdown low, and then this break. This is a confirmation of the bullish trend. Why do I say that? Because, and by the way, again, come over here if you haven't yet. BitLab Academy Twitter page, which is at Academy BitLab. Throw that tweet in the throw this tweet in the chat, mods. Come and retweet this. We're drawing tomorrow a bunch of giveaways, and we draw from. We basically do a random name picker from those who like BitLab Academy and retweet the daily tweets. So come over here and retweet this. But what I want to show you is this is a map you should all be following regularly, and that is right here. This not only shows you when we're in a bull trend, you should be buying dips, selling the rip, buying dips, selling the rip for somebody that's actively trading. Otherwise, you're position trading, buying somewhere in this region here and taking profit somewhere in this region here. Okay. That is what we're trying to get through. But the most basic fundamental thing that we need to learn and focus on is this right here and this right here. These are the two same things, just inverted. For a bullish breakout, we want to break a line of support, have a high that rolls over, come back and test that previous resistance as support. So we're breaking a line of resistance, I should say. Breaking a line of resistance, roll over, come back and test that resistance. Is it going to be support? Are the bulls actually coming into control? Yes. And then this right here is the key signal when we break past that high. So now when we look at this signal right here, if we look at this on a line chart, let's look at this on the daily. What does this look like? It looks like exactly that. We can even go on the weekly. This is exactly that. Breaking out from the previous resistance, coming down, testing support, and then breaking past this high. Now on the weekly, it looks like we've already done it. But if we come down to the daily, this is on the line chart though. If we come down to the daily, we can see that we have not yet quite got there. Okay. So we're in a critical juncture for Cardano. For those that feel like you missed the boat because you didn't buy right here, you don't ever need to allow yourself to think that way. What you need to do is realize that markets move up and down. Markets move up and then they cool down and then they test and then continue moving up and then go sideways, fall, move up. So what we need to do is take advantage of understanding if we really wanted Cardano, maybe we didn't have money on the sidelines. Maybe we weren't prepared. And price moves up and we see it now at this level. I would not advise somebody buying at this level because it very well could have rejected here. Why? Because we've seen this over and over again, rejected. It's been rejected the whole way down. So once this breaks out, the move on these major breakouts is like, okay, this broke out. Now think about it. Had you bought here because you're trying to front run it, then this price rolls over and a lot of these people that buy here capitulate right here only for it to bounce, and then they buy again right here. We're not doing that. That's not what we're doing. We are learning. If you're learning on this channel, put in hashtag BitLab, put in hashtag alum, put in something. Let me know you're learning on this channel because I don't want to just be talking. I want to be giving you all strategies so you can dominate this market. Now, Cardano is setting up for huge growth. And so are a lot of other altcoins. And we're sitting right here at this breakout point. And this is evident. This is evident when we come back over here to total market cap, excluding Bitcoin. We can see, let's go on the 3-day, go to auto. We can see that this is breaking. Look at this. This is why it's so important to zoom out. It looked, when we're looking at the 1 hour, it's like, oh, it's moving. But why is this line important? Well, let's look. Gee whiz, we broke out of a multi-year downtrend. We're in process of that right now. The next hurdle is this high right here. And this is for the total altcoin market cap, 7% from here. And then from here, it's 42% up to the next. This is for the total. So some are going to be massive gains, multi-1,000%. Some are only going to be 10 or 12%. This is why I very much recommend getting a basket of different currencies. And so let's go ahead and go through a couple more altcoins. I am going to be ending the stream a little bit early today. My wife is heading to Asia this afternoon, or right about 11:35. So I'm going to run through a bunch of charts here. GRT, where are we at with GRT? This is one that I wanted for a while, and I don't want to say lucky. I was prepared. I bought in this region right here, this double bottom breakout of this high right here. This is where I've allocated. I bought a little more on this retest, and we can see if we delete some of, we don't need to delete any of these lines. We can see that we've got a couple interesting factors that we can be looking at right here. Why am I drawing this line? Because we have this high on this touch point, these two touch points. Likely when price pushes up, this looks like we can also even potentially map it out. And maybe somewhere around this region here that we get to this level, because a lot of times when we have points of confluence of previous highs, previous levels, as well as projected trend lines, that's a lot of times where price action tends to travel. So the graph on the, let's come down to the 4 hour. So we are this is consolidating. We have a sideways range right here, a little bit of an ascending channel. Let's see. It might not even be an ascending channel. It might be a rising wedge. So yeah, we have a rising wedge here. Rising wedge here on. This might be rising wedge, but a rising tide raises all ships, and we are seeing some bullishness. We have the relative extremists sticking far out to the downside. This red overheatedness is now gray, and we are moving up, which is nice. And we have a bullish divergence here on the BitLab hidden volume. What does it look like on the market intelligence? We did have the on balance volume bullish divergence. We had a low print this was a perfect setup. We did have a little bit of overheatedness, but this relative extrema was sticking out, showing a bullish pressure slingshot to the upside. And then immediately, if we zoom in on this, we could see that this significant movement flipped gray right when we got a bullish divergence on volume, and we got two bullish divergences here, and we were on support. So this was a clear trade, 1, 2, 3, 4 signal. We have 4 different points of confluence and a structural component being the trading structure that we have on here. So we're looking here for GRT to come up to this level about 15 cents, 15, 16, 15, 5, 15, 8. And this is going to be the critical juncture here. Is this going to continue up and then test this major downtrend up at 16.5? That very well could be the case, but we're going to have to see how this flows. If we look at the daily, let's look at the momentum wave on the daily. Momentum wave on the daily. This has been a bit choppy. This did push to the upside, and this is starting to move back up. So that's nice. We are looking a little overheated, but I'm looking at this for a move up to this region, and then we're going to assess for the moves to the upside. Now, coming over here to Algorand, we can see Algorand came right up to, this is the chart we did yesterday, came right up to this golden pocket from this level, this breakdown here to here. This is, look at this. It did push above this, which is actually bullish. It didn't just get rejected at the golden pocket. It pushed above it up to this point of control in this zone right here. The point of control is the highest volume traded in the visible range that we're looking right here. And we can see this almost hit the 786. So this is looking a little bullish. If we come down to the 4 hour, this does also look a little overheated. So can this have a little bit of a pullback? Can this have a little bit of a pullback and then retest, breakout like that? Very well could. All eyes are on Ethereum right now for what it's going to do, but things are setting up. USDT dominance is breaking down. Let's come over to some of these other coins that you're talking about. HBAR, look at this, HBAR, clear breakout. We had a falling wedge here. It's very ugly though, because we don't get, what we really like to see in a falling wedge is a breakdown here, a test up here, another test here. And then like this, but this did set up structurally. This has played out as such. It's just a very almost delayed falling wedge with this, how far down this is before it tested here. And we don't get a full retest down here, but this is breaking out to the upside. This is a critical juncture right here on HBAR. We're sitting at it. We got rejected off it currently, which is at 6.6627. We're currently trading a little bit below that at 6.5. If this breaks to the upside, then I'm looking at the next target just on price action levels up here at 6.8. Next level will be up here at 7, and ultimately trading all the way up to 7.7 cents up here. Now we're going to go to XRP. XRP, basically ascending triangle. We have a flat level of resistance, rising level of support. What do I mean by that? There's a ceiling that's flat, and the floor is angled upward. This is an ascending triangle. And now with this, we can see, that XRP, let's look on the 4 hour. 4 hour, okay, we are neutral here on the significant movement. No signals on the volume. The volume is increasing though. Volume is increasing. We can see this tracking up. We see on the relative extrema, this is a little bit concerning. We can see that these bars are out to the upside. So these are essentially, when these are pushing up to the upside, these are essentially, these are meaning that the move, the bulls holding that level or pushing higher is actually, there's bearish pressure on these. These candles are actually bearish pressures pushing down. So we can see this right here. This strong push to the upside was not supported. And we can see that by that relative extrema bar. And this got eaten up down to the downside. Now, this is, if we do a fib on this is on the 4 hour, option F, top to bottom. We're getting rejected at 382. It's just not very bullish. There's a lot of news coming out with XRP. Everybody's waiting on the news about the SEC and all the filing on this. I'm still very bullish on XRP. I'd like to see this trade back up to the 52 cent range. And then at 52 cents, we can reevaluate from there. But the next target above that would be likely 54 cents. And then the next one above that, 58 cents. So we're going to do one more coin here. Let me look. AVAX. Let's see. AVAX. AVAX looking very strong here. Come down here. Auto. Have you hit that like button? Have you hit that subscribe button? Have you ding the bell? Come and join our community. We got 340 people in here, only 235 likes. We got a little bit more left here before we're going, but we see how this massive downtrend I did right here because of these two touch points. Now I can see this right here. These two touch points are projected, and we also had a lot of rejections here, but then we also have this projected out with these two touch points. So looking at these levels, and then we have these three touch points. I'm looking for AVAX right now. We broke out of this macro downtrend line right here. We found support on it, pushed up to the upside. I'm looking at a target right now about 1952. If we're able to break that, then we're going to have to contend with the 22 area, this $22 area, which has been the macro resistance, this midterm, I should say midterm resistance right here. If we're able to break above this, I mean, from here up to this level is 13%. Now, if we're able to break above this, this would be another, that's a 40% move to the next high there. If we continue all the way up to the other macro projection, that's 75%. So now with AVAX, we can see that we could very much get rejected here and come back down. But as it stands right now, this is looking bullish. Now let's go ahead and do Arbitrum. Everybody wanted Arbitrum, so this will be the last one before we go. Let's go down to the 2-hour chart so we get a lot of price action data. A whole lot of price action data there, right? Option T, Alt T if you're on PC, gives you that trend line. Look at that. We have broken out on Arbitrum, and Arbitrum has had a lot of speculation around it for the last year or so, and they only recently launched, but it has a huge amount of interest, a huge amount of investment and TVL going into it and stuff. So if we look at this on the 4-hour, we have two bearish divergences. We're getting a little bit overheated here, but which could also be strength. The fact that we have the relative extrema sticking out to the upside is not good, but we have a lot of bullish volume here. We can see with these two volume bars right here. Now coming down, let's go to the 30 minutes, see if we're getting more clarity. Is this maybe potentially a bull flag? Now zooming in, the momentum wave is coming down. What do I say that? It's not just the bars, it's this cloud. The momentum wave is coming down on Arbitrum. So there may be a little bit of a cool off. What would be nice here is if Arbitrum, this could be two things. We could have a bull flag up to this area that then could project higher if there's a lot of bullishness that comes into the markets, or this very well could come back and touch this region down here. Now with that, I love you all. I appreciate you all. That's all I can do for now. My wife is heading to Asia. A car is on the way to pick her up right now. So I've got to take a sip of my smoothie. Tell each and every one, that's tart. Each and every one of you, thank you for being part of our community. Hit that like button, subscribe, come over and share the BitLab Academy tweet if you have not yet. If you're watching later, that's okay too, because we draw these. We'll be drawing this tomorrow. Come to the BitLab Academy page, retweet this tweet, get entered to win. Make sure you're coming over, follow me over here at Kellam on Twitter. I love and respect and appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. 100 episodes. We're going to do thousands more. We have so much lined up, and all the BitLab Academy content that I talked about, we are rolling this out. I mean, literally, we are in process of this right now. I have another meeting later today. It's just the final stages of integration. So come get involved with BitLab Academy. Prices are going up. You get access to all the courses. You get access to the premium Discord. You get access to guest masterclasses. There's so much in here. We got trading psychology, trading strategies, candle patterns, on-chain data course, trading fundamentals. Man, there's more and more coming. I didn't even name them all. All of that's about to be rolled out. Get involved. Prices will be going up. If you join before that, you get to keep the lower price for the life of your account. If you're interested in any of the indicators that I was talking about, come over to bitlabacademy.com/indicators. Sign up for the newsletter here. You're going to get first crack at some of the updates that are coming out. And we have a bunch of updates coming to the indicators. So with that, I bid you adieu. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day, and I will see you in the Discord. Y'all throw that link in the Discord, the link to the Discord in the chat. Big love to everybody. I'll see you later. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Let's do 100 episodes over and over again. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for joining. Hit that like button, subscribe, ding the bell, and be my friend.